guys, here it is. Just purchased a new to me Kubota KX161-3s, which is the Super Series. It's about a 50 horsepower machine, maybe a little bit bigger, weighs almost 12,000 pounds. It's got a little work that needs to be done, so we're going to start getting it cleaned up and see what all it needs. Like I said, it's a KX161-3 Super Series. It's got the front angle blade on it. It also has the auto idle feature. So there's the angle blade. It's got a quick attach coupler on it, but it's in kind of rough shape. Something happened here. I don't see any welds or cracks or repairs or anything. I don't know why that spot's, primer gray instead of orange. And the tracks, while they don't match, that one's kind of more of the 7 shape and this one's kind of more of the block shape. They're both in really good shape, good condition, so I probably won't worry about changing that out. See, they've put an aftermarket fuel pump on it. I need to mount. It's just kind of hanging loose. And then the thing that I dislike the most is their air cleaner setup. They ran the hose over here, and to where over here where this is the normal pickup hose location, they stuck a K&N filter or a cheap filter on there. What's supposed to happen is it's supposed to come over to here, and there's supposed to be like a Donaldson filter box there with an outer and inner, a primary and secondary filter, and then an intake hose goes over to here just to pick up clean air. But you've got a double filter system over here. So I've got those parts on order to replace this jank setup. You can see they use some duct tape in there. Hopefully that doesn't cause too many issues and they didn't already mess it up too much. Engine looks pretty good. It's got a little oil around the oil cap here. I checked it for blow-by when I went to look at the machine. It really didn't have too much, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Otherwise, I've already been working on this a little bit while I was on the trailer. I took the floor pan off here, and you can see I've started cleaning out all the mud out of here. This whole area was caked with like 8 inches of mud down in there. So I've been working it with a shop vac and a pick, basically getting all that out of there. But I got a majority of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to spray the rest out with the pressure washer. It has about 3,900 hours on it, and a lot of times these panels crack up due to sun exposure and everything else, so the panel's still in good shape. Auto idle is a little rough, but I mean the dial works as what you need. This is the 2-speed switch right here. It's supposed to be up on top of this lever for the blade, but they said it's not working, so it's been moved to here, which I tested that, it works. You've got your proportional controls for your service port, which would be your thumb or a hammer or a bush hog, and then under here is a trigger button, so you can push this and pull that trigger and it'll hold the oil flow in one direction when you're using a brush cutter, so you don't constantly have to be pushing that with your thumb. Now here's a little bit of what we're dealing with the pins. So this is the pin for the stick. You can see what kind of gap we've got there. The other issue is down here at the quick coupler and the bucket connection linkage. So this is actually a Caterpillar bucket, and they welded on some new ears for Kubota, which is fine, I've done that before. But it was just done really badly. You can see how bad the welds are here and how nasty it looks. But aside from that, you can see the wear or the slop that we've got in this bucket linkage. So I'm gonna have to see what we can do with that. See if I can get new bushings in there, or if I'm gonna have to do some machine work. And then on the actual quick attach itself, it's hard to see right now, but this piece right here is basically flat instead of being round. So it's giving it a lot of slop, so I might replace this whole coupler. And then back here, where this pin goes through that holds the bucket in, and this is the pin you remove to quickly attach or detach a bucket. And you can see there's a weld right there. There's supposed to be a boss around this, kind of like there's a boss here, this piece. And when it's down there, it holds this pin tighter. But as you can see there now, there's a huge gap. This pipe is way too big for this pin here. So I need to have a boss like this machined, and I'll weld it in place down here. I will say though, it was on my trailer for about 4 days and it didn't leak a drop on the trailer. Now, hopefully that's not because it's out of hydraulic fluid, but That was good to see. No, it's not empty. It's just below the line. Probably won't take much to get that level up. I'm gonna probably flush everything out anyway, get new filters and put all new fluids in it. Well, there we are. I've been washing this machine for 5 hours and it was all horrible. But the machine is looking good. Well, we've got some good news. There are bushings in here, and they're not worn all the way through to the base metal. So I think we can definitely save this. We'll get these bushings knocked out. And I've got this angle iron inside here, and I'm trying to weld it to the bushing. Woo! Hell yeah! That worked awesome. Look at that. I saw another video of a guy doing that. I was like, well, hell, who knows if that'll actually work. That worked like a charm. Well, piece number 2. It basically split open with that weld on that last hammer when I knocked it out. The weld kind of split it. So I was able to get this little screwdriver in there and kind of get a crack in it and fold it up like you see there. Then knock it out with a chisel. So now that's all that's left in there is the bushing, which the bushing is supposed to just be loose in there, but this one is stuck in there. So we'll see about getting that out. Hit my finger. See ya. We've got a clean hole down here, ready for some parts. This one, you know, I'm looking at these bushings and I test fit a pin in here. It's still pretty tight, and you can see those bushings are pretty thick. These down here were almost down to the metal. This one here in this cylinder could probably be replaced. I might look at doing that one. And you know, this one's a little loose, but when I compare it to my machine over here, you know, I've got a little play in this one too. But that one's all greased up. Everything down there is tight. It's got shims in between the quick coupler and the dipper stick and this H plate here. And that keeps that all tight. So when it's all together, you know, it's not really bad. It doesn't really create any issues. So I think for this bucket end, I'm just gonna replace these bottom ones right now and get this one back together. If I need to do this one later, it's real easy. One pin comes out and you can replace that one. Over here on the quick coupler, The issue I have with this is a couple issues. One, you can see this boss is so flat on this side. So I want to weld some bead on there and kind of grind that, make it a circle again. Same thing with this boss here. It's kind of flattened out on the top. And then the biggest problem is, you can see right here, there's some welds that have broke. There used to be a disc right here, and that disc had a smaller ID than this hole. Same thing on this side. You can see the welds broke. So what you need that for is the pin that holds the bucket in place in the quick coupler. This is the one that you remove to replace buckets. It goes through this hole, and you can see that the hole is obviously way too big. So basically I need to have a boss made like this for this OD of this. So it's gonna have this on the ID of the boss, and then the OD will be, you know, somewhat bigger than that. And I'll weld that in place on here. And that way this pin will fit in here properly, which is also the pin on the bucket that goes through here. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching this video. If you would, go ahead and like and subscribe. That way you can stay tuned for more videos on this machine's transformation. As you saw there, it was a you know, pretty worn out machine, but I got a good deal on it. And a few hours in the garage here, we get it looking like what you see in this photo here. I've got a lot of footage of repairing different things on this, from pins to replacing all the filters and fluids, to doing the paint job on it. And I also got some new parts. You can see a thumb on here. I've got a tilt bucket for it now. And, you know, just a whole lot of good things have happened to this machine since I bought it. So I'm probably going to post a few videos on this. So this will be part 1. And I'll probably have 2 or 3 more parts as I go through rebuilding this machine for its use, and then get some footage of it out on some jobs.